Swadika, good morning and welcome to Newsline. I'm Cholapansa Narula. Thank you very much for joining us as we are coming live to you on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88 and also NBT World. It's Monday, August the 3rd and 2015. Let's have a look at today's top stories. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha on Sunday presided over the rehearsal of the Bike for Mom bike ride at the Royal Plaza, where he started cycling to an army base on Pohon Yothin Road. Cabinet members, government officials and members of the general public also participated in the event. A lot of cyclists donning blue showed up at the rehearsal of the Bike for Mom bike ride, which is scheduled to take place on August 16th of 2015. The nationwide event is in honor of Her Majesty the Queen, who will turn 83 on August 12, 2015. In Bangkok, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Maha Vajiralongkorn will lead the bike ride from Royal Plaza. During the rehearsal, there were military officers riding with cyclists to help prevent accidents and provide security for them. Traffic Police Deputy Commander Police Colonel Pusit Wiset Kamin said a small problem occurred around the corner where the inbound Vipawadi Rangsit Road meets Dindang intersection due to an influx of over 3,000 cyclists participating in the rehearsal. After the head of the bike procession reached the 11th Infantry Regiment of King's Bodyguard, he said the traffic flow became normal. On the returning route, a considerable number of participants in the rehearsal remained eager to continue their route. Many new cyclists were seen joining the procession at the Victory Monument and nearby locations, and the police tenaciously conducted the traffic with efficiency. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has expressed concerns over heavy rains caused by the monsoon trough in the northern and the upper northeastern regions. The Prime Minister instructed provincial officials to stay vigilant and prepare to issue warnings of natural disasters. The Prime Minister's concerns were based on the forecast of the southeastern monsoon and monsoon trough, which might cause thunderstorms, heavy rains and flash floods in some areas. General Prayut therefore instructed the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, the Ministry of Interior and provincial units to be on standby 24 hours and promptly warn people of possible natural disasters. The Prime Minister also commended the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment for its rainfall management according to the real rainfall data in each area. He suggested that the ministry frequently update its rainfall information for efficient water management. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has ordered 3 state banks to get ready for the National Savings Fund, which will officially kick off on August 20th. 2 days later than scheduled, to drum up the project among targeted population. The 3 banks involved in the project are the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, the Government Savings Bank, and the Krung Thai Bank. The BAAC has carried out system testing and staff training, whereas GSB has also finished its staff training and is now conducting the system testing. The National Savings Fund is a state-run provident fund for over 30 million self-employed people, such as farmers, freelancers, vendors, taxi motorcyclists, tuk-tuk drivers, and other workers who are not members of the government pension fund and private provident funds. To be eligible for the fund, he or she must be between 15 and 60 years old and merely shows an ID card to bank officials. Once starting saving with the National Savings Fund, the depositors will have to contribute to the fund until they reach 60 years old, while the government will contribute up to 13,200 baht per year to each account. After 60, the depositors will get a lifelong pension. And in our next news, 3 out of the 9 registered nano financing companies have already provided a total of 10 million baht in small loans, that is, to 553 borrowers. Deputy spokesperson of the Prime Minister's office, Major General Sansern Kao Kamnert revealed that loans being offered by these firms must not exceed 100,000 baht per person. The three active nano financing companies are Thai Ace Capital Company, Fast Money Company Limited, which is an affiliate of Sisawat Power 1979, and Muang Thai Leasing Public Company Limited. Major General Sansern said a total of 600,000 baht worth of small loans was approved last month, saying that the figure would most definitely rise in the near future, as all of the 9 nano financing companies already have the necessary system up and running. He added that about 20 other companies are waiting for license approval and 70 more have shown interest in the business. The deputy spokesperson stressed that approvals would be given carefully, adding that these firms would be alternative sources of informal loans, which usually demand high interest rate from small and medium enterprises. The National Legislative Assembly is set to meet again soon to continue with the impeachment of over 200 former members of Parliament who the anti-graft agency has accused of violating the previous constitution. NLA President Pornphet Wichitomchai has issued an invitation to all members of the legislature to a meeting on August 6 to deliberate the impeachment of 248 former MPs for their involvement in the illegal amendment of the previous constitution. The upcoming sitting will focus on the questioning of the accused by the NLA committee in charge of the process. In addition, the NLA will discuss the selection of the candidates to join the advisory committee of the Attorney General and for the position of the Attorney General. The legislature will also review a number of draft laws on Thursday before continuing the meeting on August 7th with a session for NLA member Wallop Tangkananurak to ask the Minister of Education questions related to the problems about the setting up of a fund to help teachers and education personnel. The 13.9-meter-tall bronze statue of King Rama IV will be transported from a casting factory in Ayutthaya to the newly constructed Ratchapark Park that is in Hua Hin district of Prachuap Khiri Khan. The statue is one of the 7 statues of ancestral kings to be enshrined at the Ratchapark Park on the Royal Thai Army land in Hua Hin. The statue of King Rama IV was securely loaded onto a 22-wheeler truck at the weekend and will start its journey from the Asia Fine Art Foundry in Ayutthaya. The relocation was earlier scheduled for August 2nd, but was postponed to this morning. The convoy will be taking route number 347 to Pathum Thani province, where it will join another caravan removing the statue of King Rama I from the foundry to the same park. From Pathum Thani, both statues will travel in the same caravan to the destination of Ratchapark Park in Hua Hin district of Prachuap Khiri Khan. The park has been named by His Majesty the King, meaning the park that was built to show public loyalty towards the kings. In our next news, the Ministry of Public Health has issued an official warning to the public about consuming poisonous mushrooms. Mushrooms, including the poisonous varieties, are easily found during the rainy season. Since the beginning of this year to July 17th, there were 337 instances of people suffering from the consumption of poisonous mushrooms in 38 provinces. The majority of the patients were in the northeast, especially found in Ubon Ratchathani province, which had 88 patients, followed by Chiang Rai, which had 29. Poisonous mushrooms usually start taking effect 2 to 3 hours after consumption. Patients usually experience symptoms similar to having food poisoning, such as feeling nauseous, vomiting, having an extreme stomach ache, and also diarrhea. Kidney failure may be contracted in extreme cases. Yala Private Education Office has held an academic fair to promote education in southern border provinces. Governor of Yala, Sayan Intrapak, featured an exhibition of the academic achievements of private schools in the far south of Thailand, an English language debate, an English language storytelling competition, an Islamic song contest, stage performances, and religious discussions. Over 1,000 students participated in the fair. According to the Private Education Office Director, related agencies need to encourage students to practice and display their academic and non-academic skills to enhance their experiences, which would enable them to cope with future changes. Winners of each competition will be able to take part in major events as the representatives of the southern border provinces. Organizers expect that the event will raise awareness of the importance of learning in students. The veterinarian team of Chiang Mai Zoo is preparing to take panda Lin Hui for an ultrasound scan later this month following an artificial insemination in July. The veterinarian team is in an expectant mood after Lin Hui has begun to show signs of pregnancy, such as a growing appetite, the making of her own territory, weight increase, and a higher progesterone level. Zoo visitors are also curious about the giant panda's condition. Many of them formed a long line to detect her changes. Lin Hui is the mother of female giant panda Lin Ping, the first female panda born in the zoo, and has been sent back to China since 2013. Specialists will conduct a thorough health checkup and an ultrasound scan on Lin Hui on August 21st. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 7th core value, understanding true democratic ideals with His Majesty the King as head of state.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Swadee krab, this is Thailand at large.
The show which is about to take you to the new experiences with the exciting stories.
With charming fascination. With a touch of Thainess.
Join us on NBT World.
Explore with us and you'll know and love Thailand even more than before.
Welcome back. You're still right here with us on Newsline. Thailand is preparing to welcome more tourists from the ASEAN region as the ASEAN community is officially established at the end of 2015. Kun Niranut Raijakwanit has a story.
Thailand is internationally recognized by travelers as one of the world's favorite tourist destinations. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, Thailand welcomed 14.1 million tourists in the first half of the year 2015, generating tourism income of 663 billion baht. The country is projecting more visitors at the end of this year when ASEAN community fully takes its shape. Thailand is actively preparing for the launch of the ASEAN community, as Thailand is the center of the ASEAN region. There is an opportunity for the country to welcome more tourists. The community will drive the country's tourism industry in the new and exciting era. It is important for the nation to come up with campaigns that would impress tourists and to follow the international standards in offering its tourism services. Recently, the Ministry of Tourism of Thailand came up with a campaign called the 12 Hidden Gems that tourists must not miss when they are in the kingdom, as a part of Discover Thailand project, which aims to emphasize the priceless treasures of the country.
So, Discover Thailand is a theme of this year, and we will continue until another 2 years. And with the Discover Thailand, meaning that we encourage people to do more activities in Thailand, to engage them to understand the life of the Thai people. So they get to learn how to box, Thai boxing, they get to learn how to do the cooking, and also we introduce 12 must not miss cities this year, meaning that instead of going to the main cities, we encourage them to go out from the main cities. So 12 must not miss cities are located not too far from the main cities, about 1 to 2 hours. The number of tourists this year have increased more than 10 to 15%. So it has been a success. So next year we are going to introduce another campaign, 12 must not miss cities plus. So we are going to increase another 12 cities, plus the 12 cities that we already launched this year, successfully launched this year.
Among so many attractions, Thailand is showing off its 12 fascinating provinces of Lampang, Phetchabun, Nan, Buriram, Loi, Samut Songkhram, Ratchaburi, Trat, Chanthaburi, Trang, Chumphon, and Nakhon Si Thammarat. These provinces will surely give travelers something extra to remember from the trip to the land of smiles. I'm Niranut Traijakwanit reporting.
Thailand and Cambodia have signed a memorandum of understanding with the objective of improving the livelihood of the people of both nations. The Royal Prachasongkra Thai-Cambodia Foundation, PTC, held a Relations of Two Lands Thailand-Cambodia event where a memorandum of understanding was signed to improve public health, education, religion and economic issues in both countries through the efforts of both governments. The event was chaired by Jirakom Kitayakon at the Royal Thai Police Club, Bangkok. The MOU is a binding agreement for the PTC to propel cooperation in royally initiated projects in both countries, the promotion of a better understanding among the public of both sides, and the improvement of the daily quality of life. In other global news, a pilot died after a Russian military helicopter, which was a part of a display team, crashed while performing a maneuver during an air show on Sunday, August 2nd. The Russian-made Mi-28 with 3 other helicopters were taking part in the show at Dubrovichi Airfield near the town of Ryazan, 200 kilometers east of Moscow. During the air display, one of the helicopters suddenly started spinning out of control, then descended and hit the ground, catching fire. Fire engines and ambulances arrived at the scene minutes after the crash. Event organizers said one pilot had been killed in the accident, while another had ejected and was in the hospital. The show was part of a military pilots contest called Aviadarts 2015. It was unclear whether the event would continue after the crash. According to RIA news agency, a Russian Air Force commander ordered all Mi-28 helicopters to be grounded until the cause of the crash was determined. Aid from local government and non-government agencies arrived at Myanmar Sittwe Airport on Friday, July 31st after deadly monsoon rains displaced tens of thousands of people, flooded swathes of rice paddy, and prompted fears of dams collapsing. The storms and floods have so far killed 21 people, with water levels as high as 2.5 meters in Sangyeong and 4.5 meters in western Rakhine State, according to the government, which on Friday declared 4 regions disaster zones. Television footage showed military personnel and aid workers unloading boxes of aid while officials visited affected areas in Sittwe. Elsewhere in the country, local media broadcasts video showing aid workers assisting elderly people and trucks carrying evacuated residents. Myanmar was inundated throughout last month, and storms since July 22nd have severely affected between 67,000 and 110,000 people, according to the United Nations. Though the rain has stopped in most areas, the recovery effort is a major test for impoverished Myanmar. The country's only basic infrastructure and medical facilities and is ill-equipped to deal with disasters, as shown when Cyclone Nargis battered the Irrawaddy Delta in 2008, killing 130,000 people. More pieces of metal debris found washed up on Reunion were taken into police custody on Sunday, but it was too early to say what they are, said a source close to the French investigation. Discovery of the debris may finally confirm if Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 crashed into the sea after veering off course from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, helping to end 16 months of lingering uncertainty for relatives of the passengers and crew. Investigators believe MH370's transponder was deliberately switched off before being diverted thousands of miles off course. Most of the passengers were Chinese. The United States and Egypt are returning to a stronger base in their relationship despite tensions and concerns over human rights, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said on Sunday at the first strategic dialogue between the two sides since 2009. U.S.-Egyptian relations cooled considerably after Islamist President Mohamed Morsi was ousted in 2013 by the military amid mass protest against his rule. Egypt's Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry told a joint news conference with Kerry in Cairo his country had no major disagreements with the United States, but that there were differences in points of view over some issues, which is natural. Despite U.S. concerns about Egypt's lagging democratic reforms, Cairo remains one of its closest security allies in the Middle East, an increasingly crucial role in a region beset by turmoil in Syria, Iraq, Yemen and Libya. Kerry said a nuclear deal between world powers and Iran agreed last month would contribute towards making the region safer. Kerry said the talks had also tackled increased cooperation on border security with neighboring Libya, and that he and Shoukry had agreed on the importance of ensuring free, fair and transparent parliamentary elections due by the end of the year after long delays. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to write to us. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. Today we end the program by taking you to Chiang Mai Night Safari to enjoy the nocturnal atmosphere there. I'm Chalapan Sanrula. See you next time. Sawasdee ka.